So here we go. I've got a tiny little duck head that I printed. I'll leave a link below. It's actually a full-size costume, but I shrunk it down to be about 2.5 inches. I also have little Arduino Nano, 2 SG9 servos, love these things, and a bunch of fur that I salvaged off an old toy because I like the pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a quick little kind of like a gimbal, so that the head will sit on top, kind of just move around. And the program I'm putting on the Arduino is going to be a random program. It'll randomly move the motors. I'll leave a link below. It's actually from a cat laser pointer, so that the laser has a random pattern that the cat chases. But I love that it just kind of moves around random. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the head on the top of the little guy, and then when I glue this one to this one like this, it'll both have back and forth and up and down motion like this. And instead of 3D printing a little bracket, which I actually started doing, well, I did print, I decided I'm gonna need it smaller. And instead of making one that's smaller, I'm just gonna hot glue these two guys together. Because it's not like it's gonna lift a bunch of weight, it's just gonna move around this little duck head with some fur on it. So, here we go. I decided to use the base that I 3D printed after all, because it'll give me a nice base to mount everything to. So essentially what's going to happen is this little guy is going to go here, and then the head is going to go there. So just going to have a quick little fur cover. I'll probably 3D print some ears and maybe some little feet and tiny little hands. But essentially it'll just sit there and move around at random. And then the end result will actually go on my shoulder, because those little guys, they're pretty common nowadays. Everybody's starting to make these little robots that go on your shoulders. So I thought, hey, why not jump on the bandwagon? So I'm going to put this in here. That'll give me a nice base to start things with. Glue cobwebs. They're everywhere. So I made this little guy right here. As you can see, you can turn this way and this way. And the head will go on top, right? So then the whole body just wiggles whenever it moves, right? Here's the trick. This little halo type thing goes at the top of the head. I'm going to hot glue. He'll be about yay big. I don't know exactly where the center of these motors are right now. So what I'm going to do is I've left this open to be taken off and put back on. This little screw, so that I can center it up so he's always straight whenever it turns off or on. Or off, on, I guess. I gave my little guy some ears, because I want him to look as different as possible. Eventually, I would like him to open and close his mouth, but for now, I'm just going to put them together like so. I'm going to call the front of this side without the wires, because the wires will run to the Arduino. And I've cut a big patch of fur to build around the head. This is probably going to be the most complex part. I'm going to have to shape it so it goes between his eyes, right below the eye, but not cover up the beak. I printed it in orange so that I could have an orange beak without having to paint it. So I roughly measured the cone or cylinder that he would need. So once I get the fabric cut to fit all this, I'm going to glue his head on and then drape it over, and I think I'll just hot glue it. There's no reason to sew any of this. I'm going to end up having to trim the hair a lot shorter anyway. So, here we go. You can see he doesn't have eyes yet. I'm going to use some puff paint or maybe some black marbles. I don't know. Something to give him some eyes. But for now, they'll just be hollow. Oh, he's even surprised about that. Oh. See, the fur is definitely too long for this build, but I don't have any shorter fur, and I kind of like this color, so I'm just going to keep going with it. Kind of give him that Mogwai look. Oh. Fitting these ears is taking a lot longer than I thought. Don't want to break them off while I'm trying to put them on. There we go. You can kind of see them in there, see? There. And there. I'll probably glue some little hair to the back of them, but I'm definitely going to trim the hair in the front of them. These come together. Of course, I'll trim all this down to make it look better whenever I glue it in place. Okay, now let's cut some of the bottom off because he's obviously way bigger than I want him to shoulder. But so here's what he looks like so far. Kind of see the eyes. Oh, where the eyes will be. Here's his ears. There and there. But his hair is way longer than I wanted, so time to trim it. I'm going to take him off the stand and came on. And I'm going to give him a cup. And some push against whenever I trim. This is going to get fuzzy. some little eyeballs from, let's just say, a donor. Stuffed animal. Now that's starting to look alien. Yeah, that's what I want. Kind of like the little orange fur around it. Goes along with the beak a little bit. Gives it a little bit of splash of color. So I'm going to leave it. I could zip cut the bottoms off and just get the eyeball, but I'm starting to like the little orange fuzzy. Gave him a little beard while I was trimming it. I have one eye. Starting to think of names. Species? He's a Wetzel. Like, what's that? Or Wetzel? With a Z? WHATZELL? Maybe? Here's my first version of the perch for JoJack. It is made from PETG sheets molded with a heat gun and rivets to hold it all together. I use 2 tiny screws in the back to hold JoJack on, and it slips over and under the top of my collar so that I can wear him while walking around. So here he is, the little Wetzel. We call him JoJack. Got a great little shoulder mount, little pouch to hold the electronics in, which I'm going to keep converting, make it go under the shirt. Probably put some padding on it, but for now the shoulder perch works really well. I like him. He just randomly looks around. I'm already working on a way to make him face track. Found a really cool little program that'll do that for me. So I'll just adapt it to the JoJack's servos, and we'll go from there. What do you think, JoJack? Not sure. Just gonna keep looking around. Okay. Oh, what was over there? What are we looking at? I don't know. Okay,